Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and today it's the Star Wars Spelt Out Holiday Special. Because I'm on holiday, and so is Catherine, and Matt's not. But
no, I'm not.
But I'm currently in Queensland at the moment, so I've been sitting by the pool, twisting by the pool, and Catherine's still in Melbourne, but she's on holidays. But from all reports, things are a little bit chillier down there.
I have thermals on. It was -1 this morning.
Yeah, that doesn't sound ideal.
No.
That doesn't sound ideal at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to show off and stuff and say how nice it is here, but it is beautiful in Queensland at the moment, and it's been good. And I've been able to watch the Acolyte as soon as it drops, and then talk to you guys. So we're here, episode 6. It's time to take a little breath after all the carnage, Matt, who you missed last week.
I did miss last week. I texted you, I was like, Jesus, bad one to miss.
I knew it as soon as it got, oh man, he's going to be so upset he missed it.
I know, I was going to send a soundbite in, and I was going to an Origin thing, and no, it just wasn't in the cards. And us New South Wales people, we take our NRL a little bit more seriously, and I had to juggle the whole, NRL duties, Star Wars duties, kid duties, and Star Wars went down the pecking order, even with all the death of the Jedi.
Do you think you get a lot of sympathy if you're just saying to your NRL mates, oh, mate, can't make the State of Origin, got a bit of Star Wars to watch?
Yeah, I got a podcast tonight about the Acolyte, and no, I didn't do that.
Nah, no dice.
But we won. It was in the MCG as well. We could have gone, Josh.
Yeah, well, where's the invite? We could have.
It's too cold. It's too cold.
I went to the footy the other day and it was freezing as well. It's it's cold. It's cold in Melbourne at the moment. So if you can get out of Melbourne, do it. But Catherine, this week episode, we're back. The Dash is back.
Yes, I meant to write it down. Was it Teach Corrupt, or the other way around? Something like that. But yeah, the Dash is back, so we've got the two parallel storylines.
Yeah, they've both been separated again, and one is being, kind of taught. The other one's being corrupted. No, a running time, Matt. You're a resident running time man.
34 minutes, very short episode, or 38 minutes, I think. But 34 if you take out credits. So
still longer than last week, though.
I know. I even still, I could only watch half of it. Then I had to drop my wife to somewhere, and then I watched the other half on the way back. Scoffs some curry, and then I'm here.
Just the 2:30. Phone over the speedometer. Just No,
I didn't watch while driving. I stayed safe. Didn't need to go that crazy.
That's what I like to hear. Safety first. So definitely, I mean, I think we probably all assumed that after last week things would take a breath. We'd pump the brakes a little. It wasn't going to be balls to the walls action again. But, it was... I mean, I thought it was a really good episode. It really sort of delved into everybody's motivations and stuff. But just off the top, Catherine, what were you feeling?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And, at the end I was like, oh, come on.
I know, that moment I'm like, no. And I knew it was coming as well. And I stupidly, because I had to go to the bathroom, and I was like trying to not go because I was like, I don't want to find out how much time's left. And I paused it. I'm like, I still got 6 minutes to go. Yeah, good. And I completely forgot about all the,
credits.
Back end credits and everything. And it was about 30 seconds. Like, oh man.
Yeah, well, home, you able to watch when it drops. But of course, I had plumbers scheduled to come. Originally, they were going to come between 1 and 3, and then texted yesterday to say, they'll come between 11 and 1. I was like, yep. Then I went, damn it. Can I watch on time? And so there was a bit of,
Listen
when I
by
put
the
it
door,
on 11, keeping an eye out the window for plumbers, but I managed to get the watch through. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It did go into motivations, understanding characters more. We saw a lot more of certain characters. We're not going to go there, Josh. about seeing more.
Hanging dong, is that what you're referring to, Catherine?
I'm not. It's just, there's been a couple of parallels between this and House of the Dragon, and that's continuing.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen this week's House of the Dragon yet, but
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I pretty much assume every week that's going to happen in a Game of Thrones show. But how about you, Matt? How'd you feel sort of it all wound up this week?
I thought I just watched the 2 episodes back to back this week, so I was really looking forward to seeing all my friends this week come back. And
well, they did kind of come back in a way.
No, well, they did. I saw them on the floor.
That was horrific, wasn't it? I'm just like, poor Jackie.
I know. But no, I mean, last week was just wow. Choreography, some of the best lightsaber duels we've seen in 20 years. Like, gutted I missed that one. But yeah, hard to top that one, and that was needed the breather after that, and it was a good dense episode. And I think when we get into it, I mean, this unknown planet.
Now I have it's apparently not Act 2, which I think is what everybody assumes is. Now, a friend of the show, King Tom, has a theory, and I always go to King Tom for my theories because he's the king, and you've got to respect the king.
He's the king of all Toms.
I'm just trying to look up his tweet now while we do this live. What? How can there be a million King Toms?
There's not. I took a screenshot of his Wikipedia one.
Was that was the planet from one of the planets? So there was a planet that was basically Plagueis and his master took over that was very similar.
Yeah, so I've got the Wikipedia entry here that the name of it is Beldemic, as far as I can understand it to be, an ocean planet with rocky tropical islands in the outer rim. It has rich deposits of cortosis, and that's why Sith Lords Darth Tenebrous and Darth Plagueis took it over. And it was mentioned in the Darth Plagueis novel, which, of course, is a favourite of King Tom's.
So, I would say that's probably the closest thing to a sure thing that we've got. Yeah,
makes sense.
I mean, there was a moment where May Osha looked up at the wall above the helmet, and you could see the metal was sort of in the rock, like it was sort of. But I mean, so the general gist of the episode is they're sort of swapped masters, basically. May's on the ship with Sol, trying to keep him none the wiser, and Osha wakes up, like in episode 1, kind of just wakes up, and he's in that nice little cave.
Yep. Yeah, looked cozy, that cave.
Yeah, it did look. It was very Star Warsy as well. Everything just felt very Star Warsy vibes. I don't know where I thought he would live, but I guess that kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know. I never gave it that much thought. What about you, Mole? What do you reckon? What do you think of the cave?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was getting very much Arc 2 vibes, and the greenery, the scenery, the water. I mean, all we needed was a porg.
Well, I think that's why those cute little critters, they kind of showed them to be like, well, it's not that one.
Not a porg.
It's not a porg.
No Thala Sirens out, not Octa, and then it's unknown planet.
Yeah.
So put your theory away.
Before it starts. Cute critter count there, Catherine. Good new cute little critter.
Yes, very cute. Nice little family. Yes, so we hope nothing happens to them. Well... they've been left alone so far, so all good.
Yeah, absolutely. So she sort of wakes up and checks it out, and there's the stranger, as he's officially titled at the moment, going for a little wander, going for a little bath, and
a nudie bath.
Things heat up a little bit, don't they? They sort of like, whew. I don't know. Do you think they were going to show his butt there for a second? I thought that might have first butt in Star Wars.
We've seen enough dongs this week. Oh, you haven't seen House of Dragons, so
again, you guys can tell me. We'll get my dong watch on.
Dong spoiler.
Yeah,
House of Dong.
So, and she sort of picks up the lightsaber, and look, he makes a compelling case. He sort of, he kind of feels like he can get to her.
There's a lot of dark side force lore going on. Like there's a lot of dark side chat, force aggression. You can tell he's manipulating her with his speech. It's good.
I quite
The
liked
conversational flow is very dark, and you can sense what he's doing as a Star Wars observer.
Yeah, and he did actually reveal that he was a Jedi, which was quite interesting.
That was interesting
because he looks like he's about in his 30s at most, and if no one knows, is he older than he looks? Is he changing his appearance? Is he a humanoid who can live for a couple of 100 years? Like what's his deal?
That's a good question because he said he sort of, the inference is he's super old, but he's just at one time, I don't know, it's almost like he's really old, but this is his young. I don't know. I'm getting because Sol felt his presence as familiar in a couple of early episodes, but couldn't pick up who he was.
Well, that was that's why the writing is really clever, because we brought that up. He brought that up last week, and we all went ooh, and then we went, oh no, well he met him in the in the shop, so that's obviously where he gets it. But it's like, well, actually, maybe it's not now. Maybe it's back on the table, and that's just why it's clever, because it gives you a reason to think something to dismiss it, and then it might actually be there all along. So, yeah, it's an interesting mystery. Is he ancient, or what's his deal? Or
was he just a little kid at the time, and you can't always pick what a grown-up version of a little kid looks like.
Yeah, look, very possible as well too. I kind of had this theory floating around that he was involved in the coven somehow, and maybe he's even the one who did it in the background, and Mother Zabrak was still involved or something. And I don't know, your brain goes to crazy places when you're on a plane and you're waiting to land.
Yeah, my crazy, Charlie Day theory today was okay, we saw that, Master Indara had her Padawan there. Was there another Padawan there that we didn't initially see in that flashback?
Yeah.
And could he be that Padawan? But he does sort of seem a bit like Sol would have recognised him a bit earlier, you think, but I don't know. That's, again, my red string theory.
Yeah. It's just another good little mystery, isn't it? Now it kind of just opens up another little mystery. And then sort of back on Sol's ship. So we sort of get that. The only bugbear I had slightly with this episode, there was a lot of convenient things going wrong right at the moment when something was supposed to happen. So the communications shorted out right when they were supposed to report home. It was kind of doing the... wasn't getting through, and then the ship lost its power, and then they jumped into hyperspace right as Venestro and the other people show up. It was a lot of kind of all these little
shucks,
all these little moments of come on, you just gotta call it in, and it just didn't quite happen. I don't know. What do you reckon, Matt? You just kind of go, just make the call, man. Just.
Yeah, I know. He was just obviously, can't get the words right out of my mouth. Oh no, the technology failed me. Oh, I need to fix it. And then I just don't understand how he can't sense it's May.
But I don't is that just a convenience, Star Wars convenience thing to assume everybody can sense everybody?
Basil knows.
He's sniffing her though. He's not sensing her though.
Basil knows.
Basil he's got the nose. His nose that knows.
Yeah.
But
Basil knows, and Pip knows. And then, okay, May and I have got beef now because she reset Pip back to factory settings.
She's ready to sell him on Marketplace. She's wiped it. And
you've never reset your iPhone, Catherine?
Yeah, but Catherine doesn't, have a little buddy friendship with her iPhone.
My iPhone does not have a personality. Pip has a personality.
You don't use Siri?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
It doesn't understand me.
Yeah, look, I think the Force sensing somebody thing is a little bit of Star Wars convenience. It's convenience when it's convenient, but I don't think everyone's sensing everybody all the time for everything. I think it's sort of like a thing you've got to really work on. And if you've got no reason to think... But it's funny, though, because he does actually... Like, he busts her, but it doesn't seem to be Basil or Pip that does it. It doesn't seem to be an aha moment. He just kind of... After he speaks to her, he kind of smells a rat. I don't know whether that was just the conversation that gave her away, but it seems like he genuinely thought it was Osha for a while there.
Yeah, so my theory of him not using either of their names last week sort of is losing a lot of water. But yeah, you sort of go, well, I don't think Basil told him because he seems surprised when Sol, hits her with the stun.
Yep.
But is he doing all of that to fake her out? Like, he gave her a big hug. At that point, I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe he doesn't suspect, or he's doing it to freak her out. I don't know.
I think he just didn't. I think he was just had a bit on his mind. Really, he was just got to get on the ship, get out of there, report the problem, and then once he took a moment to compose himself. I mean, I've got to say that moment where he, punches the table. And then, like, on his face, just distraught, and then he just composed that acting. That is top tier acting. That might be the best acting in Star Wars. That was just unbelievable. He just absolutely conveyed the whole, process of emotion that he went through there. It's. Whew.
Give that man an Emmy.
Give that man an Emmy.
Wars
Give him a real Emmy. I thought that was incredible.
Homelander just lost his Emmy.
I haven't watched The Boys yet either. Don't spoil that yet either.
Oh God, what are you doing on holiday?
I'm in the pool, Chapman? Mate. I'm pulling it up. I'm having a grand old time. I don't know. What do you reckon, Mole? Do you think he knew it was May from the jump, or do you think he just once he kind of composed himself and spoke to her a bit and caught on?
I think it was the lack of empathy or lack of connection with the droid that gave it away, if anything. Because he mentioned, it's, you have this relationship with the droid like it's a human. And then when she was pretty cold with it, it was then that he realized, I don't know, something. He finally pieced it together. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's her singed lightsaber haircut that gave it away.
Something just smells like wet, burnt hair around here.
I know. It's like someone's stinks of lightsaber
using a crimping iron too hard or something.
Yeah, maybe he was just so not quite distracted, but distraught and in turmoil over everything that had happened that he couldn't. And then he had that moment.
Well, his clarity and his focus
recentered himself, and then he could think with clarity, and then maybe, yes, sense it was May then.
I thought maybe it might have had, because there's the great moment where Basil and Pip try to beat her up. Basil comes up and he's got his jukes out, he's like, come on, I know what you're up to, meh, come on. Yeah. And then they have a little bit of a scrap, and then she gets sprayed with the oil, and I thought maybe that had something to do with it. Pip would never spray Osha with the oil, but I don't know. Mm. And the fact she didn't know how to fix the ship, probably. Yeah. He's like, just go fix the ship. You're a mechanic, right? She's like, yeah, sure. I could totally fix the ship.
Mm.
But that was interesting because they were all just teasing information out of each other. It was all little just dragging little bits of info out of each other.
But it was definitely laying the platform after, the highs of the last episode, sort of bring everything back down to earth and sort of setting the scene for the final two. I mean, is it 8 episodes? Or
yeah, there's only 2
8?
more.
Only 2 more.
Yeah.
So,
well, I feel like it's going to play out on this planet now.
This unknown planet.
So I don't think, because at the moment it's, Sol's still in play. He's the only one who knows who's standing, who knows that there's a Sith or whatever you want to call him involved, really. And he's tied her up, tied May up, and I think he's going to be like, take me to your master. I'm going to go finish this off now. Because he basically, decides not to go back to Coruscant and decides to hightail it to finish this, basically, I think. And the interesting thing was, which never really occurred to me, is that he's got a suspect number 1 now as well. Which kind of, I guess, makes sense, because he's the only one with a lightsaber standing.
Yeah, but Venestra sort of shut that down, but she definitely is thinking some kind of Jedi. There was interesting seeing Venestra on the planet.
Well, I just thought that she actually was like, well, don't be ridiculous, but I'm going to go because maybe something's happened in his past. It would make me think that, might have even just been, 16 years ago, these Jedi were controlled by these witches and they went mental and they killed everybody, and he was there, so there's a chance he could go mental and kill everybody or something.
Yeah. Like something like that. But it was interesting to see Venestra, make that decision to go to the planet, but we get the first little bit with her dealing with the Senate, so that little hint of the Jedi getting more into the politics, but then her going to the planet, and then her Padawan talking about that she doesn't like hyperspace, and she said that it unsettles her or something. Now, I'm trying to think back to the High Republic, because in those novels in Phase 1, now I've only read them the once, but there is a lot of talk about the hyperspace lanes, the Nile doing damage to those, but it also is talking about how those lanes were first discovered. And it is a lot of Force stuff. And Venestra was the character in there who connected with a woman that the Nile had captive and being forced to find other lanes. And Venestra was like seeing the lanes. So it's like, this is why she gets disturbed by the hyperspace travel.
Interesting.
Please correct me, King Tom.
Write in, King Tom, if you need to. I think it sounds about right. I think I saw someone online similar that there was a mention that hyperspace sort of upsets her tummy or something like that, or whatever it is. But quite fascinating. And then so she brings a little squad down, and then we just get these horrific shots of Jeckie and Yord just sort of lying there, and just like, they're really gone. They didn't just get up and dust themselves off, Matt. That was it, mate.
It wasn't a dream.
No. And we
somehow Yord returned.
No, I'm afraid not, Yord Horde. And shout out to the actor who plays Yord. He did a very funny little video during the week too. He was just like, "Sorry, I'm dead."
I know it's nice to see how they embrace it. You see, Daphne Keane, no relation to you, Catherine. Fight training and all the work they put in, and
did you see the Manny Jacinto fight training? That was awesome.
They were working hard. They were working hard.
It's funny how that clip of them doing the fight choreography, that training, because it's all wide, and no trees or anything in the way. It's like, this is really cool, like to really be able to see all those moves. It was so cool.
It's just, I don't know, how do you even start something like that? Do you reckon they just go, here's a stick, just go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then faster, 1, 2, 1. I guess it's just like dance.
I'm sure there's a choreographer who...
I know. I'm sure they don't just pick it up on the day, but it just looks like there's months of...
Well, they would have storyboarded it, and then it's muscle memory, and then it's getting it right, and practice.
And I think it was the same...
4 months, Manny Jacinto or something.
Yeah. Well, part of the team that did that also did... I've forgotten the name of it now. Something in the 10 Rings. The Marvel movie.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Yep. They know their stuff. So Venestra and a little crew, they find all the dead bodies of all our friends, and we get a little bit of hollow whip action, bit of lightsaber whip.
Yes.
Just the one. Like, I was kind of going, because I knew that shot was still in the trailer, going, I wonder what they're going to fight down there. What will it be? And it was really just one of those bugs came back. But This is the question. I mean, people are theorizing now because we see the shot of the stranger with the marks on his back. And he's saying that that's where his master gave them to him. And then we see Vanestra with the whip. I mean, is that too obvious? Or is it just a little misdirect?
Oh, wow.
Because Vanestra's old.
It doesn't seem within her character, but you're right in that the marks on his back could well be whip scars.
Not that I really know exactly what a whip scar looks like, but it does sort of, lend itself a bit to that.
Yeah.
But is he a former Padawan of hers? I mean, she's still on the board, so to speak. She's been around a long time, maybe.
But I mean, if she's played such a pivotal role in the books and everything, surely she can't.
If she's...
Yeah, looking at the meta, it doesn't feel likely because we first met her as a 16-year-old newly knighted character. The meta of it doesn't feel like that's who she'd be.
But it could be a Luke and Kylo, bad misunderstanding, bad interpretation. Yeah. He's already kind of gone bad. He tries to reel her in, and he decides that that's the reason to leave.
Totally. And when she made her lightsaber and made it so it could turn into a whip, that was sort of frowned upon because the light whip was considered almost a dark side weapon, but she'd seen it in a vision or something. That's why she made it that way. So who knows? He just said his master, so it could be his dark side master.
Yeah, or it could be Plagueis.
Yeah, it could be.
Plagueis whipped him.
Whipped him good.
Episode 6, whipped by Plagueis.
Whipped by Plagueis. Whip it good. So that's just quite fascinating to dig into that and it's just fascinating to see that he was a Jedi. I suppose it makes sense. It never really occurred to me where he come from otherwise. But so he kind of spends a long time, giving Osha some options. It was quite curious when he was sort of saying, hey, you think you can't use the Force anymore because you haven't been training, but if you want to get it back real quick, you can dig into the hate, the anger, and the desire.
Yes, he's seducing her to the dark side.
It's kind of it's got an interesting concept, though, isn't it? It's not something we've ever really seen before, of actually using the attraction. It's not just the attraction to the, the power, but the actual attraction to the person and the let's be bad together kind of thing.
Yeah, like it is interesting from a number of angles to see, the stranger trying to get Osha to come to the dark side, because we never saw a lot of that in like the prequels, the Emperor or Palpatine trying to get Anakin to come over. It was far more subtle, and then he was sort of there. In some ways, we saw a lot more in Clone Wars, but it's interesting to see how someone could be seduced by the dark side. Yes, we're all using the word and we're all having a laugh, and yes, the shippers are out. Shippers are out for sure.
Yeah, but it's quite a curious. Like, obviously, he's in a hurry and he's got to try and get to her quickly. So, how do you influence somebody who might be a bit impressionable or whatever? So it's quite curious. We'll see what happens then. Did he do the same thing with Osha? I quite liked where he was just like, well, turns out she just wanted revenge, and I think we talked about that early, Mole. That if she just offs these Jedi, is she really that committed? It seems like she was really just more about getting the revenge, and this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, he says in the episode, I thought she wanted what I wanted, but she didn't, and now I need someone new. Like, I want someone who wants what I want, and I need the power of two. And, he seems to be steering towards more Sith-like paths, so getting more Sithy.
He's using all the right language, isn't he? He's using, he's got the playbook. He's got the, he's got the terminology down.
He does.
I did like where he's just like, oh, if you want to go swim for the ship, it's over there. Or you can wait till the tide goes out and I'll get you something to eat.
Interesting setup, though, that you've got your ship parked where you can only access it, a couple times a day when the tide's out. Do you want to have a quick getaway? But I suppose if other people can't park nearby, there's no real danger. But still, I'd want to have easy accessibility.
Yeah, you'd just get a ramp or something at least. Well, who knows? He's got some tricks up his sleeve. Maybe he can do a little force jump over there or something, or conjure up some seals to walk on the back of or something, or I don't know.
He's
got a secret drawbridge type of thing.
Yeah, it just sort of pulls out of the floor or something. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it's all going to go down on this planet. I think next week we'll have the flashback again. Obviously, we got left hanging at the moment where Sol's going to basically tell May his side of the story, and Osha's going to put the helmet on and see something.
The helmet's on. How do you see in that thing?
It was quite interesting, wasn't it? Just seeing her perspective, where it's just the tiny little.
Well, I think you have to channel the force hard and literally just see what the force shows you, really, because you can't see anything.
Well, that's what he was saying, wasn't he? The sensory deprivation, and you just have what you're taking with you. Yoda callback, and so you're just feeling completely in the force.
I wonder if it'll be, whether it will be where we see two visions, or do we just go back to the flashback and we just show, I don't know. I've got a feeling it's kind of there'll be a bit of juxtaposition. They might show one thing from one angle, one thing from another angle, which we've all sort of hinted at. But I think the reveals at the end of that, it's not going to just be who started the fire. I think it's going to be a lot of probably going to play into what the Stranger's history is. All sort I think it's going to be a few oh crap, okay, this is happening.
I think she's going to get a flashback of his, a flashback of his and a flashback of hers. We'll get an insight into his life and as Khmer and the other side of the witch's story.
Yeah, we'll definitely see two sides. We'll see Sol's memory of it, and then we'll see what Osha perhaps truly remembers from the incident. But who knows?
Which does lean to the theory that maybe Khmer was there, potentially, or there was more people there, or maybe in the aftermath or something. I'm not too sure. It's going to be interesting. I just don't want Sol to be a bad bloke. I just feel like they're going to get to this planet. The last episode is going to be the showdown on that planet, and he's not going to make it off. And then that's all your witnesses gone.
Mm.
Well, it's funny how he's actually Sol's almost come to the realization I've got to go to the High Council now. I can't. Middle management's we're beyond we're beyond middle management now. We have to go to the High Council.
A few people have died now. It might be time to step this up.
I'm beyond my remit. I have to tell the upper management what I've done. This is now a B-27 classified report.
Yeah, it does. It is curious that there is that hierarchy, that maybe a lot of this stuff is dealt with middle management, and it was always dealt with in middle management. It was never anything that the High Council even knew about or particularly cared about, because they kind of churn through. Some people don't make it, some people wash out. Things sometimes go wrong, but the general sort of vibe, because I suppose we're used to in the prequels, it feels like everything goes through the council, and maybe that's the difference. Maybe back then there was a High Council and a few lower things, and now they changed it to everything that goes through the top. I'm not quite sure. I don't think we're going to get Yoda at the last minute here, though.
No.
Well, you don't think Yoda's coming?
Don't know. I don't think so. Maybe last episode. Maybe.
What about a last minute Yariel Poof cameo?
Bring back Kia D first, I say.
What about we've already had him. What about
Well, it's funny when they had that first shot of the council, and there's just the voiceover, and I think it's the Padawan who's talking first. He's got the British accent, and I was like, oh, because they didn't show him straight away. It was just the voice talking over the establishing shot of the temple. I was like, oh, is that Kia D? Is Kia D back? Do we have to fire the slug up again? Do we have to call text Hawes again? Is it all happening? But no, it was just some other dude.
Do you remember who Yariel Poof is, by the way?
Is he the guy with the long tail and the beard?
Long neck?
Very good.
Long
No.
neck.
I was thinking of the guy who has the long tail with the beard. I don't know.
No. Sort of Kaminoan style looking guy. He's so obtusely weird that you could bring him back, and then I'd love to see the uproar, but but I mean, it's obviously going to season 2. We're not finished. We're nowhere near finished. There's so much more to tell. There's so much more time to do. Like, we're not finished. We're nowhere near it.
It's the ultimate. Not revenge, but it's the ultimate,
arena.
Cherry on the top of all the crap that if it gets announced for a second season. And I certainly know why they wouldn't announce it before it's over, because you don't want to predict that, people make it out or that anything could happen. Who knows? We don't know everybody. So you're not going to say
Star Wars theory.
No, but at the same time, like, it would be great that if it wound up and they were just like, "Yep, we're coming back. We're doing another one," or how they. I mean, I think did they announce the Rian Johnson trilogy before Last Jedi came out, didn't it? Wasn't it the week
that was bad. They announced it at the same time, that he's getting his own trilogy. They were so impressed with his work and everything.
Still going to happen?
No, but didn't Leslie Headland said there will be 2 Sith in season 1 of the Acolyte? So shouldn't we
apparently that was said. Molly tweeted something out that was said in, how before the season started, a number of creators went to Lucasfilm and had a conversation, an unrecorded conversation, and apparently it was said basically it slipped out and it was an accident, and someone decided to report it, and Molly was like, she's disappointed that someone reported it.
Interesting.
Who's disappointed, Leslie or Molly, or both?
Molly.
Don't want to disappoint Molly. Shout out Molly if you're listening.
Hi, Molly.
She might be, actually. She did ask for some recommendations, and we did tell her the pod was on, and I think she liked it. So hopefully you're listening. Hello again. Come back on the pod anytime, mate. You're more than welcome. I think that's almost a given, though. I'm not. I mean, it's a bummer, but I think the dun dun at the end, there's going to
be some big bad reveal.
Yeah, but we don't. It could be, like I said, it could be someone we already know. It could be a new character at the end. It seems like if this planet is the planet that King Tom says it is, it does tie in close to. Was it Darth Tyrannobus, Terriborus, whatever it is, and Darth Plagueis. So we'll see. But I don't know. What else did we see in this episode that we haven't touched on here? There was some good Basil stuff. Do you think Basil's a guy in a suit, or do you think Basil's a CG?
CG.
I think there's a performer, but there is CG.
So, I mean,
there,
obviously CG face, but I thought maybe guy in suit or girl in suit.
I'm sure if it's a performer, it's Kenny Baker. No, not Kenny Baker. It's,
I was going to say Kenny Baker's been dead for nearly 15
it's definitely
years.
a performer.
Who's the guy that's always? Who's the other guy?
Warwick Davis.
Who?
Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis. Yeah, he's always getting work.
No,
he's got tenure.
I remember them talking about it, or it came out. He's done other performances on other Star Wars stuff. I can't. Yeah. I'd have to look it all up.
That's right. But I would just say, because it was just very convincing running around the ship and stuff. It didn't look like a CG character at all. But I'd say, like you said, suit with a CG face when needed, probably. But I'm just trying to think what else. So there was the moment where May got the lightsaber and put it right up to his neck and was thinking about chopping the old head off. Wouldn't go through with it. He didn't seem overly worried, though.
I don't think so. I think he seems pretty calm.
He goes, I'm reeling this fish in.
I'm sure it's like, strike me down with all of your anger and your journey to the dark side is complete.
Yeah, so next week, I think we can safely say that there'll be the flashback. Do you think it'll be the full flashback, or do you think we'll get our answers?
50 minutes. 50 minutes at least.
But I mean, like,
week.
episode 3 was like, the whole episode was the flashback. Do you think it'll play out the same way, or do you think, because we don't really need to repeat ourselves on the bits we've seen, or whether it's just bits interspersed back and forth?
We need Godfather 2, 2 flashbacks, 50 minutes, one side by side.
Yep.
You know, give us a good
ultimate cut.
meaty episode,
And then you
half of it, and then you cross over and give us the other half, and then you give us 5 minutes of lightsaber fights, and then
you get
big bad reveal cliffhanger, and then penultimate finale.
Then the ultimate cut, where it's in ultimate cut in chronological
That's how you
order.
do it, KK. I'm ready to run Lucasfilm. Sign me up.
You and everyone else, by the sound of things.
Oh me. Funny story, Josh. Have you looked at the Black Series for the Acolyte that are available to pre-order and stuff? There's some good-looking Master Soul and Jeckie and Yords, and
I mean, I've seen them.
Really
I haven't.
Oh, they're not available for purchase, but
I've seen the pictures. Yeah.
I was looking at the Stranger Mask because, you know, it's funny. I saw a tweet saying Stranger Mask went up for sale on Yak and sold out in 24 hours. And someone tweeted, not a bad effort for a show that no one is watching. You know, and in Australia, like, it's still available because we're a little bit on the slower side of things. And if we can still get it from Zing Pop and stuff, which is good because I'd love one. It's a sick looking mask.
Didn't they push it back though? I think the
for Australia.
No, but I think they sort of said, "Hey, it's coming out in whatever October or something," and now they've gone, "Oh, actually, it's going to be like next year now."
Oh, it was always next year,
right? Okay,
but you got to sort of pre-order and stuff. So,
I mean, that one I can understand, but yeah, the other characters and stuff, like, I wouldn't mind a Master Soul Black Series or a Jeckie Black Series, but even though I'm sort of out of Black Series or a Yord, but.
Is yours going to have the shirt on or off, Catherine?
He's got to come with a little steamer. That's going to be his accessory.
Oh, that would be great if he came with a little steamer.
Who would you prefer to meet, Catherine? Yord or Andor?
Who
Come
do you
on.
think?
I don't know.
No, I thought you were going to say Yord or Jeckie. I'm like, well, they both seem cool, but I think
41 and a half minutes, and I wasn't the one who brought it up.
That's true. It's been a while. When are we seeing Andor season 2? Are we even? When are you going to tweet? We are one day closer to Andor. It's been a while since you've tweeted that.
it's probably only been 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I must be muted from my feed.
You just muted those words, have you? Is it like make Solo 2 happen? You're like, I can't take it anymore.
Twitter very
Every
often.
night.
It must just get lost in the.
That's part of Catherine's bedtime routine. You know, she goes in, she brushes her teeth. You know, she washes her face. She
so you still
hits
do
up
that
her water
nightly,
bottle,
okay.
and then she tweets it, and then it's off. Lights off to bed.
Yeah.
When
not
is Andor
scheduled.
season 2 coming out?
I don't know.
It'll be Celebration Japan. It'll be that weekend, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Because I saw If movie the other day, and I saw Fiona Shaw, and it made me think of Marva Andor and how good Rick's Road was, and I was just like, oh.
yeah.
Well, my T-shirt today is actually underneath a Star Wars spelt out jumper. Is a Marva Andor Fight the Empire.
There you go. On brand. Catherine is always on
She
brand.
didn't say Fight the Empire.
Yeah, but she stood for it.
She said F the Empire.
So yeah, look, my money's on Celebration Japan. They'll probably drop the first episode. I don't. Is that how you'd want to watch the first episode of Andor? Celebration Japan amongst the madness, or would you rather be in a quiet room by yourself where you can concentrate? I mean, it'd be annoying if
She wants it in the madness after her photo session.
I know, but
with
like
Vega Luna.
like the Obi-Wan screening we got into because some friends gave us some wristbands. We didn't actually get into that panel to get to that screening.
Yeah.
I did.
Would it? Good for you. But but it would be annoying if they did an Andor one, and I'm sure somebody would help you out, Catherine. But I think would that be how you'd want to do it though?
Well, people talk during stuff. Like, I do not understand why people talk during watching television. I don't understand it. I have very strict rules. I think I've subjected you to my very strict watching of things rules.
I'm not sure an auditorium of 6,000 people are going to adhere to your rules, Catherine.
It's Andor. Show some respect. And Diego were like, yes. Everybody listen to Catherine.
It didn't help that the one trailer that our panel was in, the Andor trailer didn't work. Remember, Catherine? At Celebration, the Andor trailer didn't work for us.
But we saw the new one in London though. So, but all right. Before we get too far off the trail, let's just bring this back around to next week. Is Master Soul a bad guy? Yes or no? He's been pushed to the edge a little bit here.
He's done bad things. Something happened.
But I feel like he's the kind of guy where it's like something bad happened and I just didn't do enough to stop it. Therefore, I just feel bad about it because I was there, as opposed to I actually, cut people down.
Yeah, that does sound. Yeah.
No, he's done bad things.
Yes, he's not a bad person, but things he's done, yes, it could be bad, or he regrets. Like, yes, he thinks he could have done more to prevent bad things from happening.
Yep. I don't know. I love that character so much, and I just think his performance is so good. I just, I even think that even if he didn't do terrible bad things, he's not going to make it out of this unless it's, I don't know.
You are not going to be on the jury of his trial. You are so biased.
I am biased. I'm biased. I have to recuse myself.
You are innocent before even hearing the case.
I've got to recuse myself from this process, I'm afraid.
You are excused from jury duty. That's for sure. You are not welcome at Coruscant Court.
Space Coruscant Court. My approach the bench at Coruscant Court. Yeah, I just don't think. I think it's going to end with Sol sort of not making it out of that planet. Yeah, maybe Osha. Maybe even Osha's the one that does it, and she falls to the dark side at the end of this series, and that's where it gets left. And she's the last one standing. I don't know.
Well, it looks that way, that May's sort of turning, and Osha's the other one going the other way now. So it's not looking. It
does leave a very. I hate to say it, but it does leave it on a neat little bow if they can pin it on Sol, and he eats it.
He's the conduit.
They go, Osha betrayed him and killed him for what she did, and he'd already turned to the dark side or something. I don't know. Like, it's just, they go, that's it, shut close, Johnson. It's the old story.
Kiari Mundi would.
Yeah, he'll just be like, he was always trouble, that bloke.
Yeah, because Kiara Mundi's always wrong.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They just go, yep, nothing to see here. And what depending on what Vanestra's, maybe this is it for her too. This could be, she's been in the books a long time. It'd be weird to kill off a character who's still alive in a book series he's just about to put out, but who knows?
No, it's set nicely. There's no, it's definitely set the scene. Like, the helmet's on, anything could happen. Jedi are investigating, although that apprentice is like Jedi Master Doofus. Oh, what happened here? It could be anything. Was it Soul? Like, that guy's an idiot.
Well, he was just a learner, wasn't he? He wasn't a he was. He saw the Padawan braid.
Oh. It's like, dude, there's lightsaber blades here. What do you think? Oh, was it Soul? Get out of here, loser. No wonder I had to come, because you're hopeless. Yeah.
He was a bit more just like, hey, a whole bunch of Jedi just got killed, and now we're just going to show up at the scene of the crime. I'm not really loving the odd.
It was the bugs. It was definitely the bugs.
Yeah, clear it was the bugs. Case closed. Let's get out of here. There's no need to go to the spooky forest.
Blades. Oh, it was Sol. Let's get out of here. No.
But that's the thing, they still got no idea. They got not even considering that there would be a dark side user. It's just basically one of their own's gone rogue. That would be the most, which is what makes me feel like if this is the attitude that they've got, and they there's no reason for them to think otherwise. But if Sol doesn't make it out and doesn't tell them what's happened, there's no reason for them to think that's not the case, even if it's at the damage of his reputation.
Now the scene is set. It's been really good. I'm enjoying it. It's you gotta wait to the end, and all this internet.
It's been nice. So it's been nice that it's calmed down the last few weeks, and I think whatever. Maybe you just ignore that. But it's just
even the trolls are reviewing the wrong show. You see that like there's in tweets that they're trolling the wrong Acolyte. They've moved on to the Acolytes and all the other stuff that has it in the title. It's not even the same show.
It's like one of those. I saw a trailer on YouTube the other day for something called. It was like Angry Max Ride the Fury Street or something. It was one of those like trying to, direct-to-video budget things, which makes people think that they're getting Mad Max Fury Road, but they're actually getting a knockoff kind of thing. It's like one of those sort of. It was some sort of blatant weird direct-to-video. I mean, I guess it's all direct-to-video now, but. Well, I think we've kind of covered this one. We've only got the two of us here. It's a shorter episode. All the pieces are in play. We're going to get there's going to be a lot to speculate about next week, I think, and talk about when we get some big reveals on what exactly went down on that damn coven. What are people doing? Who did what? Who killed what? Who killed what?
Which dragon's going to attack? Oh, sorry, wrong podcast.
All right. Before we wrap up, all right, let's just get your coven theory in 10 words or less. Catherine, coven theory, what went down?
I don't know. Stuff.
Stuff, come on. Poison.
Poison? You're saying, Mole's saying
Yeah.
poison.
The poison tree, come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poison tree.
And it was Torben at the instruction of Sol, and Kelnaka was against it. That's why he attacks.
Oh. Okay.
And I haven't read it, trust me.
I'm going to say poison under the instruction of Mother Zabrak controlling Torben.
Ooh.
Kelnaka butts him, but it's too late, and a fight breaks out. And then Vanestra Rowe comes up and covers up the whole thing. With her apprentice. Little shifty kind
Vanestra is Plagueis.
Could be.
Plagueis is middle management in the office.
Take it to middle management. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for doing this on my holiday. Taking the time out. I'm going to, sit back, have a pina colada, have a drink with an umbrella in it or something like that. Get back in the pool. If the wind's
Watch The
died
Boys
down.
and House of Dragon, maybe.
Well, I might do that. Well, I've got to entertain my children as well here, so I can't. I wish I could I'll just pop on some House of the Dragon and say, "Here's some hanging dong, kids. Close your eyes when the hanging dong's on."
Multiple times, close your eyes.
That's the thing. And I'm here with Kat's parents as well, so we can't just be like, "Hey, we want to sit around watch a bit of House of the Dragon."
Roving babysitters. That's you get plenty of time.
I remember one time, one of my close friends, Jen, who's actually been on this show before. Her mum came over from Canada and they stayed with us because my flatmates were away and they needed a spare room. And we watched Game of Thrones. The new Game of Thrones came out, whatever, that night. We watched it and her mum had never seen it before. And it was just one episode where it was really explicit. And I'm just sitting there. Jen's just like, oh my God. She said her mum's like, what? Like, what? Didn't want to say anything. Just like, I guess this is what the kids watch these days. But anyway, yep, thank you everybody for listening and downloading. Everyone's into it. Everyone's into this show. We don't know what's going to happen next. I'll be on holiday again next week, so we'll hopefully see you guys again, and we'll pick up where we left off. Catherine, enjoy the rest of your holiday week. Keep toasty.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll try to keep warm. But yes, very happy to be off work for a little bit, but yes, I do have some fires in the oven. Is that the term for podcasts in the works?
Excellent. Everybody get on that.
All right, guys, I got to run.
Thank you, Matt.
Someone's at my door. Thanks for your time, guys.
No worries.
Enjoy.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.